Hello, hello. I am not Kyle, I'm not Keith, and I'm not Jason. My name is Tom Conyers, and I'm one of the media and social media guys at Whissel Realty Group, and I'm filling in for everyone. Um, and I'm joined today by one of our newest agents, Matt Honeycutt. Hello, Matt.
Hi, Thomas, and everybody out there listening.
So here on the Whistle Way podcast, we like to give tips and tricks to agents to help them, and all that good stuff. So on the car ride over here, me and Matt got to know each other a little bit.
So much.
So much, all the details.
Whole life story.
And found out you used to be part of the Navy.
Yeah,
And I
I
thought
was
that was
a
really,
Navy sailor.
and I thought that was kind of a cool story. So can you tell me about the transition from Navy to agent, how that went about?
Ooh, man,
I
what
know.
a sordid tale. It's kind of like the Lord of the Rings, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I went all the way through Middle Earth and came out the other side. But yeah, man, how could the two be any more different, really?
Yeah.
Um, let's see. So I guess there's the how it happened
Mm-hmm.
in short form. So I was leaving the military, and I bought a couple homes while I was in the military. So I was definitely bathed in the investor blood. I loved real estate.
That's smart thinking.
Yeah, we've got this thing that myself and other real estate affiliated or real estate affiliated Navy people, Navy affiliated real estate people. We've got this thing: buy a house in every station, right? So that was kind of something that I had in my mind. Like, yeah, if you buy a house every time you move to a new duty station, by the time you retire, you got a fat portfolio
Yeah.
that you can add to your retirement, and now you really don't have to get that second retirement job, right?
Right.
That everybody knows about, or maybe they don't. Who knows? But anyways, I'm getting ready to get out, and I wanted to buy one more house before I got out. So I went and talked to a guy, and come to find out, I wasn't really qualified because of a few other things. But we had a great conversation. And at the end of the conversation, he just took his yellow notepad and he just slides it over. He's like, "Well, the bad news is I can't sell you a house, Matt. But the good news is I can definitely offer you a job." I was like, "Really?
Whoa.
Okay."
Yeah.
Well, I happen to be looking for one of those, right? But yeah. So fast forward, I started getting into this in kind of investment game as a bird dog, and for those that don't know what that means, it's basically an unlicensed scout for property deals, right? So you're finding properties that you could do things with, and you're analyzing what the deal could look like. So that was a great education for a couple of years. And then along the way, that same guy had encouraged me, "Hey, why don't you go ahead and get your real estate license and use all this knowledge that you've got and your contacts with all your military people, and why don't you sell some houses as well?" I was like, "Wow, that's a great idea."
Yeah.
So I did that, and for the last couple of years, I've been doing that and really encouraging new, young, budding, investor-minded Navy people to kind of jump in and join me on this mission of buy a house in every station.
Yeah. That's actually a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Like, because, like you said, once you're out, then you just have a nice, like, cushion
Yeah,
to sit back on.
exactly.
So, being from the Navy now, real estate, you probably have a really good understanding from like what's out there for, like the thing I hear a lot. Like, so my thing is I know nothing about real estate or loans or whatnot.
Well,
Like,
you're in the right place, right?
and I try to pick up words every now and then. Like, I learned what a farm was my first week.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
everyone was talking about farms. They're like, oh, I got a farm. I'm like, what? This farm?
Why is everyone in real estate and agriculture, dude?
Right.
What is this?
I was like, okay. But a lot of people talk about VA loans.
Yep.
Are really good.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah. Is there any other like things from that you know of that may not be like utilized?
Oh, man. Well, there's just so much about the VA loan itself to speak about. I mean, let's just crack that nut for a second.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you're
Te-
talking.
Teach me.
I will teach you. Grasshopper. So, all right, if you look out into the world of lending, right, we've come a long way since the old days where you had to have 20% down to buy a house.
Okay.
That's a ton of money to save up. But back in the day when wages were a little bit more consistent, a little bit more closer related to the purchase price of a home, it was doable. But now, in San Diego, we're looking at $500,000-$600,000 homes.
Yeah.
So someone to save $120,000 to put down on a place, well,
Yeah. I think my mom and dad bought their first house in Temecula for like 140.
yeah,
So back, I mean, that's the 90s, but you could have bought a house for that. Yeah.
exactly,
Okay.
right? And so it's creeping a little bit further and further away. And so you see all these lenders, they do great things, right? They're like, "Hey, don't worry. We'll give you these FHA loans or these low down conventional loans to help ease that burden." And those are awesome. But when you have a VA loan, it's zero down. Zero. The only
Yeah.
thing you got to bring out of pocket is just closing costs and, other things that you need to negotiate with. But that's amazing. And the way that it works, real quick, is that when you have that VA loan guarantee, and that's what it is, it's a guarantee. It's not actually a loan, it's a guarantee. It means you're basically being co-signed by the VA, by Uncle Sam.
Mm-hmm.
They say, hey, thank you for your service. We got you covered. The first 25% of this whole loan, we will back that up if in case you default, right? And so the lender who's writing up that loan's like, oh, you're being co-signed by Uncle Sam? Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah.
And so they write it up and they say, here you go. And all you pay is your closing costs and you can get in. What's fantastic about that, especially for a person who wants to buy a house in every duty station,
Mm-hmm.
is that that's barely more than what it takes to qualify just to rent an apartment.
Yeah.
So not having that $160,000 obstacle to buy your first place is mind-blowing.
Yeah, because then, I mean, they always talk about, especially in the office, the rent to own, right? And you just kind of mentioned right there where, yeah, your mortgage would be just a little bit more or a little bit less, depending where you're buying, than what you're renting for right now.
Exactly.
And then you just build that portfolio every station you're at, and then boom, done. And then you rent to the people that don't want to buy or can't get a VA loan, right? Like,
Exactly.
yeah. Okay.
And here's an even better part, right? In San Diego, like you say you want to go rent like a 4-bedroom house. It could be $2,500, $2,600, $2,700, even up to $3,000 in some places, like if you go to Del Cerro, right? But you could buy a very comparable property to that for about a $3,000 to $3,500 mortgage, right? And that's phenomenal to be that close. And it's like, all right, I'm either going to burn this $3,000 and it's gone, or I'm going to invest 35, and most of which comes back to me, right? Just in the form of the fact that I'm buying down my loan, right?
Right.
But on top of that, the thing that I'm buying into is growing at this crazy 6% a year rate, right? And that is amazing. You go to other places, though. Like, how does that look if you're in, like, Virginia or Washington or Florida? Over there, you can buy a house, and the mortgage that you have is cheaper than the rent that you would pay in a lot of cases.
True.
So you're being further incentivized to buy something. And it's crazy. Not coming out of pocket with that VA loan.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to get connected with Matt or anyone at the Whissel Realty Group, you can give us a call or shoot us a text. I don't know the number. I'm sorry.
I'll give you my number.
Yeah,
if you want.
Matt, if you want to share your number, probably.
All right. Give me a call day or night. I will pick up my phone. 619-993-8144. 619-993-8144. And you can also get me at matt@navyrealtor.com, which is just a generic email that I use because it's super easy to find me that way.
Right. Real quick, too, kind of shifting gears. We talked about this a little bit before we were doing this podcast. So I'm media, right? And
You are media, Tom.
media. I do media things. And one of the things that we're trying to push a lot now is for agents to kind of do more creative video types.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I feel like that, like, not
We have to.
Everyone wants the viral video,
Right.
But I don't think you go in making it viral, but just something different to stand above the crowd.
Yeah.
And I think it's just so important, right? Like, I think a couple of weeks ago, Keith was in here talking about being on top of mind. And I
Right.
feel like being creative and doing creative videos, and, it doesn't have to be something crazy,
Right.
but just something different to stay on top of mind, right? Like, yeah, go out and touch, but, if I'm watching a video and it's just another pan, right?
Exactly.
Pan room, it's like, whatever. But then I think a guy, this is 6 months ago, so did a flossing video.
Yeah.
And he did a flossing in every room. Easy to do, right? Still same, just set up.
That's funny.
But it was different, stood out,
Exactly.
and it got a crazy amount of views. Now, I think he did it a little too much and beat it to death,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But he rode the wave, and I think that's where to do it. So,
It's innovation.
right. But the thing I'm having trouble with right now is I feel people are scared, right? They have that drunk monkey on their shoulder, right? Like making phone
Always.
calls, trying to do something different.
Yeah.
What if you could give an agent like a tip, right? Just from a conversation, because I've had with you so far, I feel like you're someone that's a go-getter.
Oh, yes.
And would just do it.
You have to be.
If there's a tip or something you could say to an agent right now to get that drunk monkey off their back and to go and do something creative, do something to stand out with their video or social media, what would you want to say to them?
The 3 words: do it now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm on this radio show right now.
Yeah.
Someone's like, "Hey, would you like to?" Yes. The answer is yes, and I will do it now.
Right. I mean, I'm doing this podcast right
Yeah.
now, right? I mean, what's the worst thing? Nothing. I mean, what
Nothing.
can happen? Right.
Nothing's gonna
Yeah, just go out and do it. It's like the plus ultra form of the Go Nike. That's what you just said right there.
Yeah, we just took it an extra bit, plus now.
Yeah.
Nike plus, do it plus now.
And you don't have to do a lot. Like if you're listening to the podcast, I think you know about our Facebook group, the Whissel Way. We had a gentleman in there posting a video, and a lot of people post video for feedback, right? And he did his with an iPhone, tripod, and his first video, right?
What else
that's,
do you need?
That's all you need. And then he posted for critiques, and I made a list real quick. It's super simple. They have cheap microphones now that plug into phones. And then I was like, if you really want to get fancy, there's like Gorilla tripods that like mount onto different things, so you can get like a higher level. You don't have to like put it on a counter and face up.
Tons of ways to up your game.
Yeah, and just this week he posted another video, and I noticed he had a microphone. Sound quality was way better, but it wasn't a lot of like crazy things. But like just from video 1 to video 2, and just going out and doing it, it was a great video. And he does, and it's a good little series he does. It's like, hey, this is what we did, and this are our complications. This is how I overcame them. Blah blah blah. This that stood out. Done. I liked it a lot.
I think what a lot of people get hung up on is they worry about all the things that go around the video without really putting much thought into what's the content that I'm actually going to deliver.
Yeah.
Like if you took, a great play, right? Like, I don't know, like a Shakespeare, like Romeo and Juliet, right? It doesn't matter how much money you put into the production. It's the script that matters, right? It's actually what's being played out that's really the important part. So if you just think about if you think about your message and focus on that, then you can add all the lights and the sounds and the fun stuff and juice it up later.
Awesome. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. Matt, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Thomas,
thank you guys for joining
me.
us. If you want more content like this or have more questions, make sure to check us out on Facebook on the Whissel Way Facebook page. And until next week, you guys have a good one.